Hello everyone, my name is Jeff Neville and welcome to Selective Imagery. Welcome to the Manfrotto 1 tripod with the 500X head. I apologize ahead of time for the video because my head will be clipped off for most of it. My head was not clipped off when I was looking at the back of my LCD monitor. However, when I processed it, it was clipped, and I just decided to run with it just to get it out and not do the whole thing all over again. So this is what you get. Sorry, not a professional. Hello everybody, this is Jeff Neville for Selective Imagery, and today we're going to talk about the Manfrotto 1 tripod, which is, there are videos, there's probably, it seems like 100 videos on this already. And I'm going to do somewhat of an unboxing video and a first impressions and just talk about it in general and things that I like and things that I don't like. And I got this as a Christmas gift, and so now I got to decide whether I'm going to keep it or not. So let's open it up. It has a graphic of the tripod on the side of the box, and we will open it up quickly, and I'm not going to show assembly, any type of assembly at all. Gives you some highlights on the inside panel here that you could read up on. Like I said, it kind of shows you the outline and little cutouts of what you bought. I bought mine with the 500X tripod head, which does have a fluid drag system. Does have counterbalance, but it's not adjustable. It's basically preset, either on or off, set for like 5.29 pounds. And here's everything in the box. And these little pull out, don't throw those out. They're links to the website, and there's also some parts in there, like a 3/8 1/4 inch reducer, if you have an old tripod head that you want to use, and you need an adapter. They have one in there, and a few other things. So we're going to start by just taking out the tripod itself. I'll move this box over. I'm just going to spread the legs to the normal position. And this tripod is being advertised as this is the only thing you need, great for running gunners, great for someone that does video content and still photography. And I don't disagree with that at all. It does have a few quirks. There were some areas on this right out of the box where the paint was scratched. Matt Granger did a video. His were scratched as well. On the legs, basically the screws on the legs during shipment, when you close these legs, the legs are not touching, but they're close enough where, if this thing's being rattled around, they're going to hit each other, and the screws are scratching the coating on the plastic. And unfortunately, I wish the plastic had the color all the way through, which would have been nice, but that isn't the case. A big part of this tripod, what makes it popular, is it has a quick release. They call it the exchange system. So it already has that mechanism on here. You turn a ring to unlock it, and this pops off. This has the threads to put your tripod head on it. And once that's on your tripod head, you can just take it, push it on the top, and it's locked in place. There is an additional slider here that makes it impossible for it to fall off, to really lock it on. So you go to unlock it, it will not come off. But if I move it that way, unlock it, this pops up, take the tripod head off. So that's something that's very advantageous. It also has this little flange here with a thread on it, so you can buy an accessory like some type of articulating arm to put a monitor on there if you want, or a microphone, or a diffusion panel, or whatever that you can find to attach to that. You have a hook right here to hang a bag with shot in it or sand or whatever, to put a little weight on this if you needed to. What's interesting, you do have a bubble level, okay? Now, unlike a conventional tripod, where you have the quick ratchet type here, the quick snap connections, like here I got to undo like 4 of them on this other tripod to pull the legs out. Then I got to snap them all back. Well, this tripod is quote unquote built for speed. I can hold the upper part of this, and you got this lever. I can lift up the lever, the legs drop all the way down. Then I can just tighten it like that, clamp it shut, and there you go. You're all set up. For me, if I want to, close the legs back up and shorten them, I'm going to bring them back to where I can put it on top of my pool table. I'm just going to release the lever, and I'm going to push the leg up, lean it on my body, so I know that this is all the way to the top, and I'm going to close it. Do the same thing on this one. Start it with my hand, lean it into my body, close it. Another thing that's interesting about this tripod is obviously you can fool around and adjust the legs at different height, look at your bubble level, get it the way you want. Or if you're on a relatively flat surface and you're only off a little bit, what you can do is you loosen this screw on the side, and you can actually lift up this center column a little bit if you wanted to. There's a lever here that you lift up. You lift that up, you can rotate the ball and fine-tune your adjustments, and then just push it down. I'm not really looking at it here to line it up. I'm just gonna, just for demonstration purposes, just lock it down right like that. Okay. The head doesn't go up extremely high. You don't have a very tall center shaft. But what is unique is, let's say I'm doing a video and I'm showing how I'm repairing a camera or doing something on a camera on a desk, and I want to get a top-down view, I could just loosen this up, lift up the center column, and there's a button at the base. I get it up high, I push the button, it allows me to move this down. Once I push that button, and slide it over. Okay, and then I can, tighten, I can rotate, I can move it. I could be filming a video, going across like this, shooting down, lock it in securely, like a copy stand, okay? Then when I want to put it back the regular way, all I got to do, pull it forward, push the button, okay, drop it down, and I'm done. So it's all about being able to do things quickly, whether it be dropping the legs, leveling it, changing tripod heads. And what I did, just for demonstration purposes, I bought what they call the Manfrotto exchange system. Okay, that's this device that's on the top. I bought a few extras. And what you get, I'll open up the box here, move the... You open it up, you see the top portion. And this is the bottom piece that gets threaded into your tripod. Then you rotate the disc here, and this pops off, and you can attach this to your tripod head, no matter what kind of tripod head it is. Now I have gimbal heads, I have different kinds of ball heads, so just for demonstration purposes, since I don't have this mounted on the fluid head yet, is I'm just going to remove this. Okay. Here is my ball head, my ball head. Just push it on. It ain't going anywhere. It's not coming off. Rotate this, comes right off. Push it on, it locks. If I want to be super secure, I move that lever over, and it's not coming off no matter what. Okay? So I bought several of these, and it comes with the base that's on the tripod. You could buy these, put them on any tripod you have, and make it so it's a quick change system, and put different heads on other tripods that you own. It doesn't have to be just this one, and that's a really cool thing. I mean, there's nothing like just taking it, going like that. Okay, you decide you want to switch from one to another. It's very easy. And I know you're not going to be able to see it, but on the piece that you attach to your tripod head, it comes with a little Allen wrench, in the kit, and there's a Allen head screw here, and you tighten that up, because right now I could separate the pieces, and you don't want this thing to accidentally loosen up. You tighten it up firmly by hand, you tighten up that screw, and you won't be able to loosen it at all. Okay, so that's something you want to be thinking about. So I bought a couple of those just to make things more versatile. I could put this piece on my my gimbal head. Hey, I could be in the car saying, what do I need today for what I'm shooting, or bring multiple heads with me and just sit there and just snap them on. Okay. Now, in terms of extending the legs, you have little slider here that you use to unlock the leg, and then you can move it all the way up and it'll click stop. Okay? You'll hear it click. Now if I wanted to spread these legs out really, really low to shoot at ground level with this center piece, I'm not going to be able to get low enough. So what they have in here, which you really can't see, there's this section from where my finger is down, there's a little dovetail joint. And there's just something that you swing out of the way, which you probably can't see. And then, once that's swung out of the way, I could take that bottom piece off. And it has an arrow on it, tells you which way, you know, you have to slide it in. So I could take off that bottom piece. Yeah, so now I can push the lever here and extend each of the legs, you know, to get a low angle shot. Now you could set it, you know, set it right down on the ground, and you're literally inches off the ground. And it's stable. It is perfectly stable. Now, you also have the ability, you have rubber tipped feet, which is the one feature I do not like on this tripod. You have little notches on each side of the rubber that kind of like the plastic molding underneath goes into that notch. And you can pull the foot off. Now you got to have somewhere to put it, and you now have a spiked foot. And the problem I have is trying to put these back on. They do not go on and sit the same way they did when you got it from the factory. They're very, very hard to work with from the factory to get them off. It took me forever. But that's it. So I'm gonna come back in a second and put the head that came with it on and talk about the tripod head a little bit. So here we are with the 500X head. Now there's some criticism on it because it can only hold 11 pounds, load bearing 11 pounds. And it's got the, you know, traditional Manfrotto plate that you slide on it. And this one has a drag adjustment on this side. You've got the video handle here for panning, tilting. You got the bubble level. You got this knob to make it so you can't move it. That's the only adjustment. It's not like a fine drag adjustment in terms of, you know, panning, but you know, it does work. And in terms of the, like I said, you have a drag adjustment for how hard it is to, or how much effort you have to put in to move the camera up and down. And then if you want to have counterbalance, and what counterbalance will do is if you have a heavy lens, a heavier lens on your camera, you want to have enough drag and you want to have it where the lens just doesn't, due to the weight of the lens, it doesn't all of a sudden just go like this and bang and hit a stop either way. So you adjust it so you adjust everything so it stays where you put it, and when you get it up at the top and let go, it stays there. It doesn't tilt up and it doesn't tilt down. Okay, that's what you're trying to have. Now, the other feature that people like about this particular head is it has a button on this side. You push the button and it locks, and you're now at 90 degrees. You don't have to have a special bracket on your camera body. And hit that button. Now you got your portrait shot. Push it in again. Push it down. Nice click. Latches in place, nice and solid. There's no, oh, is it really secure? It's secure. Okay, and then, it's very easy to adjust the plate back and forth if you have a longer plate. Okay, it's not a problem. Easy to take the plate off, easy to put the plate on. Take it off for now. But, overall good setup, a better head than is typical. I'm not quite sure what the head costs by itself, but if you don't like the load and you go, oh, 11 pounds isn't enough, it's not. It's 11 pounds because of the rating of the head, not the rating of the tripod legs. The tripod legs themselves are rated for 33.1 pounds. Which should cover pretty much any camera somebody has, other than maybe like super large cinema cameras with a whole bunch of stuff attached. So you can always, just take the head off. I mean, this ball head is rated for like 25 pounds. There you go. Now I can put 25 pounds on it if I need to. Or Manfrotto and other companies make other types of fluid heads that are rated higher. I mean, I have a Nitrotech 608 Nitrotech fluid head, which is definitely a step up from this, although it doesn't do the 90 degrees. I mean, that locks, that ain't moving. That can handle 17.6 pounds. So all I got to do is, put on the adapter on my other head, and or put this setup on my other tripod that I have, and I could just take that other head off and pop it on here and put on whatever head I need. I mean, I got a lot of functionality. It does come with a case. Okay. Zippered case, does have some padding in it. For many, this will be more than adequate. I decided to splurge a little bit. I'll move this over here. And I bought their higher end bag. And what I like about the higher end bag is you can carry it like this from a handle. You can carry it like this. You also have the capability of attaching a strap to it, which is inside the bag. But probably the neatest thing is when you pull the zippers down, sometimes you're always fumbling with a bag. You can fold the flaps out on this bag so you're not fighting with it. And you got extra padding here for the tripod head. You got a strap to strap it down, and being able to fold those sides over, you could just lay the tripod right in there and then just roll up the edges. And zip it shut. And like I said, it does come with, has a zippered compartment inside that comes with padded strap if you want to, you know, hang it this way. So you have multiple ways of carrying it. And that's about it. I mean, my only beef with it is I don't care for the transition between the rubber feet and the spikes. I think over time those rubber pieces are going to just deform and not stay on very well. That's just my opinion. I'll tell you once I use it for a few years or whatever, see how it works out. But other than that, it really, really is something that is very, very convenient for people that shoot video and stills. And like I said, between being able to extend the center column out so that you can shoot down at something, remove the portion of the center column so you can spread the legs and be right at ground level quickly. Quick extension of the legs using only one lever per leg instead of multiple levers for each section of a leg on a typical tripod. And the quick release for the heads is just like crazy good. Especially if you're someone, especially like I said, a bird photographer, wildlife photographer who may want to have a gimbal on there if he's doing bird in flight. You know, this isn't necessarily going to be the easiest thing for bird in flight. And if you're doing macro or what have you, you're probably going to just want to, you know, take some kind of a ball head and snap that on and do some macro shooting. And it's just nice to have that flexibility. And like I say, you buy this kit, you buy this exchange system that has the bottom piece that threads onto your tripod, and then the top piece that goes on the bottom of your head. You can make all your tripods quick change artists. So it's a very expensive tripod. It's not cheap. My other Manfrotto tripod, I've had it for over 20 years. And it built like a rock, and it never had a problem with it. But it's too big for most of what I do. I don't need something that big, and it's nice to have the ball, the ball set up here with the tripod to make it quicker to level it. And I think overall, you know, if you have many uses and you want to get a tripod that satisfies that, this may be the way to go. I mean, it does have, you know, a few flaws. I think with the scratches that are on this, on the plastic, and was on the on another YouTuber's comments of some scratches on the plastic, that could be solved very easily by, I think that was strictly due to transit. And if you want to make sure that doesn't happen, all you got to do is basically get a piece of foam or styrofoam and cut at the diameter of this and slide it over on this when you're storing it, so that when you close the legs, it's just big enough and a little slightly bigger in diameter than this, so the legs cannot vibrate and travel and touch each other and have the screws scratch themselves. That's something that should have been thought of in the packaging of the item, in my opinion. And I'm going to put this back on quick. And it's very easy to put on. It has an arrow. It slides on. You move this little catch across, and you're done. A couple more things to make note of. There in line with this lever that loosens up the ball for leveling, there's a little rubber, rubber plug on the top, and that fell off at some point just in fooling around with this. So that's something that you may want to glue in place. Put a little contact cement on it or something so you don't lose it. So that's another little thing. And if you had to use the leveling with the ball here, what you want to make sure is that before you fold the legs and throw it in the bag, that it's straight, that it isn't cocked a little bit because you made an adjustment when you had the legs open and you were taking pictures. Because then when you go to close the legs, what'll happen, if it's not straight, the legs won't close all the way. Okay? And they're going to hit the center column, and you're probably going to scratch the carbon fiber. So you want to make sure that, okay, that center post is level before you fold the legs. So if you're really quick with things and whatnot, and you're not paying attention, you're going to have scratches everywhere on this. And like I said, I'm going to make up a little something to slide over the tube so that these legs cannot touch each other due to vibration and travel and scratch the plastic, you know, on the legs. So that's that. Those are just the other couple things I wanted to mention. If anybody has any questions, leave them in the comments. As I say, enjoy life, capture some of it. No matter what you shoot with, go out there and have some fun. And until next time, have a good one.